Yo, what is going on? It's your boy, the Finance Dude, and I'm back at it again with another video. This time, we're gonna be do a whole new video. This one discussing about Oni Lloyd. Now, this one pretty much is more of a speculation video. Well, also a theory video. This one isn't script either. So, with that being said, just please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for for any futuristic videos. With that being said, let's begin with the video. So we see here during one of the box art for Ninjago season 15 of Crystallize, we see pretty much Lloyd as a Oni, but in gold. We see Oni Lloyd, and also it comes with Oni Garmadon, which is pretty crazy because Garmadon is also a full-fledged Oni, but this time he's not with his four-arm self. He's just with two arms, but he looks fully Oni. Lloyd here looks like a full Oni. So what are the possible? There are a couple of things I want to discuss about this one. Like how did Lloyd turn to some type of Oni? Now this one is no mystery because I mean, seeing Garmadon as an Oni, Lloyd can also become an Oni. Heck, I wouldn't even be surprised if Lloyd could end up growing four arms just like Garmadon can because keep in mind this is father and son. Whatever Garmadon can do, Lloyd can also do. Like for say if Garmadon say like just give it appearances for instance. Lloyd and Garmadon both have the exact same haircut. Well, they both have the exact same hair. It may not be the same color, but the hair texture and everything is just alike. Let's say face expressions. During the time during season 7, we see Lloyd and Garmadon's face to be exactly the same. They're exactly the same face, hairstyle, the same. It's just that it's in different color. The only difference is that Garmadon is evil while Lloyd is good. However, I just feel as if mostly whatever Garmadon can do, Lloyd can also do as an Oni. So let's say like how can I put it? It's just like pretty much just anything Oni wise. Anything that Garmadon can do, Lloyd can do. Ultimately, that's how I'm looking at it. Because in this case, Garmadon does have Oni powers. He could ship shape. He could do whatever he can. I would not be surprised if Lloyd can do the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised. He would possibly do the exact same abilities what Garmadon can do. I mean, the form part, I'm not 100% sure, but that could be arranged. But the only thing is that I feel as if they're actually targeting towards Nia and Lloyd's worst fear. Now, we saw in season 15, part 1, that Nia's worst fear was that she didn't want to be ordinary. She didn't want to be ordinary. She didn't want to lose her elemental powers because she gonna feel like she didn't, because that's what she loved, being a ninja. But however, with her losing her powers, it made her feel like, oh man, this is my greatest fear. But she realized her worst fear more is losing her friends and never to be seeing them again. Whereas to Lloyd, his own was pretty much ending up becoming like his father. He didn't want to become like his father, but there are traits to where like Lloyd could actually end up like him, but not in a bad way, but like appearances wise. Because think about it like this: in Star Wars, Anakin literally lost his arm and would lost his hand during his fight with Count Dooku during the Clone Wars. Well, actually, this was the beginning of the Clone Wars, I think, and that's when later on, he turned to Darth Vader, etc., etc. He turned evil because Palpatine used pretty much ultimately his emotions and feelings against him ultimately. And then you see now Luke, you see the same thing happen to him. He ended up losing his arm. I mean my bad. I keep saying arm. He lost his hand against Darth Vader, aka Anakin, his father. And then later on, you saw that literally he beat his father at Return of the Jedi, and Palpatine was trying to try to make Luke take his father's place and become evil, ultimately, or turn to the dark side. That was Luke's fear or something like that. But however, Luke had to resist that because ultimately he stood his ground and he said to Palpatine, like, man, he's a Jedi. He doesn't want to like fall to the dark side. He did something that Anakin couldn't do, and he surpassed Anakin, which whereas Lloyd surpassed Garmadon as an Oni. He may not, just because he's an Oni, it doesn't mean he's a bad. He shouldn't. It doesn't mean he doesn't. It doesn't mean he has to be a bad person. I mean, that's pretty much like Mistake. Mistake was an Oni, but was she a bad person? No. There's other dragons out there that are just as the same. They may not be as they just because they're dragons doesn't mean they're actually good dragons. There could be bad dragons out there. I mean, we saw Boro in season 11 in the ice chapter, that ice dragon pretty much. We saw that was evil, and that was out of the creation of Zane. So, I mean, but I mean, there's a couple of ways of how he gained this power. I mean, let's say the Mask of Vengeance. They did mention about it, but however, I don't think we don't see them actually. We didn't see that actually be adapted in the show. I don't know. The Mask of Vengeance. Lloyd could possibly end up using the Mask of Vengeance, and that's when somehow it triggers something in him. See the other side of his powers, or he just ends up awakening it by some type of trauma or etc. It could be trauma mostly because naturally it feels as if it's more of a it kind of being Oni kind of like it kind of well plays a role in darkness. So whatever Lloyd's feelings or emotions could possibly awaken him in awakening his Oni form. So well, golden power part, I'm not sure how that works. I don't even know if he's gonna turn golden, but I'm for sure gonna think that the Mask of Vengeance will possibly play a role. I'm not 100% sure, but remember, Misake gave Lloyd, showed Lloyd that remember he was powerless. The mask they had the Mask of Vengeance, and Skylar wanted because she knew that he was powerless, so instead let's just give him the Oni mask, and then he could just use the power right then and there. That was the idea for him to use since he doesn't have any of the powers. But beware because, I mean, it's magic, dark magic. And with him using dark magic, that could possibly corrupt him. There's also other ways of how he could turn, other ways of like, I mean, but like for that say, we could potentially see an evil Lloyd. Not 100% sure, but keep in mind, Lloyd, if that's coming the case, Lloyd has to keep his emotion, etc. in check, because if he hangs loose, then his Oni side will like end up being the downfall of him. Although 50% of him is the dragon side, although he represents pretty much both. Some other ways of where he could end up, like other ways of how he can unlock the power. So ultimately, like when it comes to actually him being Oni, what Mistake said is that he already did shapeshift. He has already been shapeshift. Not in the ways of how his father did, but more in ways of like mentally and stuff like that. He shapeshifted by he's not like the person who wants like attention from his father, or that person who always wants to take over Ninjago or release the Serpentine. He's not like that anymore. He's like more when he gone older, and when his appearance changed a bit further and further, he realized like he has pretty much changed. He's not like he's not like him from the past, or he's not like him like any other type of way. He pretty much, ever since he was the Green Ninja, he changed. Put it that way. So he's not. So that's why Mistake said it's like. That's why I was like, that was like the reason why Lloyd, when it came to his powers, he didn't exactly wonder. He wondered why come he can't do the same thing that his father can, or why can't he unlock Oni abilities, because he already have. It's not in the way of how Garmadon does it, but in ways of where Garmadon could pretty much anything that Garmadon could do, it could be a possibility where Lloyd can do the same thing. How that gonna be playing the show? Not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. But I'm pretty certain that could definitely come to play. And so yeah, guys, I thank you guys so much for enjoying this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.